Hey, Sweden, how we going?
Oh, good.
So-
Fuck the pandemic. Fuck the pandemic.
That's it, man. That's
It's all
it.
good. Yeah.
How's speaking about the pandemic? How are you guys? Like we hear on the news in Australia, we hear about Sweden is pretty bad. How is it?
Sweden is not pretty bad. It's the bad thing about Sweden is that we couldn't keep it away from the elderly homes. That was the major problem. Otherwise, people, haven't suffered that much, and we have some restrictions about, only 50 people in the same room, and you have to keep a distance in the stores and so on. But otherwise, it's been like, it's pretty much normal, but some kind of precautions there is. It's not like it is.
Yeah.
There are some companies are going bankruptcy, but the government are really helping out a lot. I cannot say anything about that. They are doing a great job, but it was devastated that we cannot keep the Corona thing from the elderly homes. That is the major issue in my opinion. So, but let's see, how things will roll. And Australia, how's things over there?
Oh, it's pretty much the same, but just on a much smaller scale. Like we've been, again, we're so isolated, especially here in Perth, where I am. Like we got about 3,000 kilometers to the next major city. So, so we're extremely fortunate. So everything is almost back to normal. I think we've got like a handful of active cases or something here. So
yeah.
So that's good. Tony, I've been I'm so excited to talk to you. We've been sort of messaging back and forth for I think about 6 months now.
Ever,
Yeah. We were. I think we started talking. Was it about December or something? We were having a bit of a chat. I posted a video of my kids rocking out to Monster Human. I think that's where it all started. So actually, speaking about Monster Human, I just played that as the intro.
Yes.
How did you guys come up with that idea? Because I mean, you put on these crazy onesies and you're sort of cleaning a museum. Like, what's happening?
I don't know. We just wanted to do something different, not like this kind of basic normal videos when you just stand there playing like up on a stage. We wanted to do something really odd and with a lot of twist of humor, So
it worked.
Yeah, it did absolutely. We are super happy with the video, and we're also super happy that we got access to the museum and so on, the recording of the video went really smooth. It was like done in 3 or 4 hours, and that's it. And it's kind of a cool thing. And we always try to have some kind of a twist to our videos. But this was like maybe a little bit over the top if you're speaking about humor. But it's cool. We actually have an idea that we will do another video for another song in the fall, where we will use these onesies again. So let's see more news about that later on.
Yeah, good. Speaking about those onesies, my oldest son has been dying to find out where you got them from because he really wants one.
Okay.
How did you find them?
It was like this party costume shop thing on the internet, so it wasn't harder than that. It was really pretty easy. You just have to figure out which ones were the cheapest ones.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah. But then it was just by occasion that 2 of them were red ones and 2 of them were gray. It wasn't anything there wasn't any idea behind that. It just happened, So yeah.
Well, it's. I think we probably listen to that song a couple of times per day because as I've told you a couple of times, like the kids absolutely love the song, absolutely, and I think also it obviously comes because you guys are wearing one season. You're cleaning up a museum and stuff. So it's wicked. It's wicked. I love it. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
But Tony, yeah, it's a part of our chat today. I'm really curious to hear a bit about sort of the whole story from Transport League, because you've been around for what's about 25 years now.
25 years. Yeah.
Started. I think on your Facebook page, I think you say you started back in '94 or something.
Yeah, 94. It was a three-piece in the beginning.
Yep.
I was a guitar player and singer, and a drummer and a bass player, and they were from our hood here, where we have, because I live in a suburb outside of Gothenburg.
Yeah.
And we were influenced by more of a kind of groovy kind of metal, hard rock or sludge or stoner kind of music, like Cathedral, hardcore things like Propane and Clutch, Corrosion of Conformity, those kind of bands. And there were also other bands who have other influences, right? Like Rage Against the Machine in that suburb over there. And we were never part of the Gothenburg sound thing. The Gothenburg sound thing was something else, with Dark Tranquility, At the Gates, In Flames. So they were doing their thing and we were doing our thing. And we didn't even know each other. So, and we were happy that they were, because everybody thinks that, when you come from Gothenburg and you play metal, you go, oh, you play like Gothenburg sound? No, we don't play Gothenburg sound. I don't have anything against Gothenburg sound. It's a cool thing. And then they've invented this kind of melodic death thing, and it's really awesome. But we did something else, and we were a part of that scene. So, but we started out as a three-piece, and back then I was a singer in a band called b-thong. We released a couple of albums on Mascot Records. It's a label where Volbeat then got also successful later on. And I just had this side project thing because I wanted to do something which was more rock and roll, because b-thong was more like metal, kind of a Pantera thing, sounding music. So and I just wanted to do this thing on my own, kind of this groovy stoner thing, very much influenced by Cathedral, Clutch, and Corrosion of Conformity. So and we got this. We entered this rock band competition, and we got to the semifinals. And through the semifinals, we got like 2 days in the studio for free. So we recorded a couple of songs there, and we sent it out to Mascot Records, and then they enjoyed it a lot, so they wanted to sign it. And we recorded an album in 2 weeks at Studio Fredman, one of the most well-known studios of metal around the world, because they produce like In Flames, At the Gates, The Haunted, Arch Enemy, and bands like that. We recorded an album there, 1 week recording and 1 week mixing, and that's it. The Stallion Showcase album. And it took a while to get it released, but it was released in 95. I don't know if it was just before the summer. But then it just started to roll, and some of the members didn't want to be part of the band because they have other obligations. So then I started to form a real band, because it was just a hobby project, was done from the hip, if you understand what I'm saying. And I found members that were dedicated to it, and we started to do some live shows, and then shortly after we released the Super Evil album in 97, and then it just took off a little bit. We played a lot of festivals in Sweden, and also we did a lot of touring, 97 and 98 in Europe. So good times. Yeah,
I remember the first time I actually saw you guys was in Aalborg Metal Festival in 2002. Because I was actually playing there. I was opening up with my old band. We were the first one on the roster, and you guys were actually headlining. I think you were co-headlining with The Haunted, as far as I remember.
Yes. True.
Again,
Yeah.
another epic Swedish metal band. But so that's actually how I came across Transport League the first time. But your sound back then was vastly different to how it sounds now.
Yeah, it was. There was different members back then. It was 2002. There was a totally new lineup after a couple of hard years, and the band developed into something which wasn't really what it was from the beginning, and the band started to form into something that didn't feel right to use the name Transport League anymore. So that's why I formed a band called M.A.N, M-A.N, and I dropped the guitar and I was just a vocalist in that band. But then we just, it was like in 2008 or something like that. I hooked up with the old members again, and we have buried some old bad stuff deep and just forgot about those old sad stories and just hooked up again. Yeah, you know how it comes along, and what happens in life. And we just started to jam and wanted to do a reunion show. And we did a reunion show in May 2009. And it felt so great. And it was a packed show at a pretty small venue. It was like 200 people. But it was like a really cool show, and people were super happy, and we enjoyed it a lot. And we just started to fool around with some new riffs, and it ended up that we released this Boogie from Hell, which was like a reunion kind of a comeback, whatever album, Boogie from Hell, which we released in 2013 on our own label, and then we got signed with this German label. So we released the album in 2014, and and then. Ever since then, we've been releasing albums. So it's all good.
Now, it's because obviously, like the sound you have now, the sound you've had on the last two albums is like it's really like it's got this thick, groovy, like massive wall of sound. And from what I could understand, you were going to use the same guy again for the new album. Is that right?
We have not decided yet when we're gonna mix the album, but we're gonna start the recordings around at the end of June, beginning of July, slow and easy. We have a studio which we can use really easily, access to it as well. It's just above from our rehearsal space here. So, but the guy Roberto Loggi, which we used for the last two albums, from recording, mixing, and so on, he's busy for like 4 months at the moment, and so we can't use him for the recording. But our plan is that we will use him for the mix. But that is a thing that's going to come later, because first we're going to record, and then the mix is going to be done, in the fall sometime, and then probably a single release in February maybe, and then the album, then I'd like 2 or 3 singles, and then maybe the album just before the summer or just right after the summer. So it's kind of a long process, but everything is kind of in a limbo anyway. So we just wanted to do something and not just sit around here doing nothing. So and we have 13 really cool songs in the pipe. So you just gotta blast them off. So it's
smash them out. Yeah. Look, could you elaborate a bit more about some of the new songs? I think I saw on your Facebook page a couple of weeks ago you posted some working titles. And there was one title that sort of stood out to me, which was Kaiserschnitt. Is that are you guys gonna sing in German again? Because obviously you have some German lyrics in Monster Human as well.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, exactly. It was just like we were. I was at work. I work. It's kind of a cultural governmental thing. I help bands with rehearsal spaces. So we were just having a coffee. Yeah, it's a cool thing. Absolutely. I'm super happy with my work. I almost work with my hobby in a way, because I arrange my shows with Belzebub, and I help bands with rehearsal spaces. So music is my life.
Fantastic.
But we were just fooling around with, because by the in the coffee room, kitchen, whatever. So we were just fooling around, and we were speaking about because in Swedish it's kejsarsnitt. When you give birth, you can
C-section.
C-section. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. So I was just thinking of that. Maybe it's Kaiserschnitt in German. I don't know. It sounds like it could be the word for it, and we were just fooling around. And I just looked it up at Google Translate, and it was Kaiserschnitt. And we was like, those words could easily fit in that song, because the song was actually the refrain of that song was actually Auto Crash. The song was called Auto Crash, but then Kaiserschnitt was more suitable in the phrasing of with the riff, so it just became Kaiserschnitt. So it's
cool.
Yes, it has nothing to do with German lyrics again. No. Actually, no. Maybe not. It just have to be it's a kind of a metaphor. So and it just felt, the words became so good in that phrasing, in that part. So why not?
Yeah, cool, man. So So the rest of the songs. So for the new album, how are you guys writing the songs? Is it like, do you bring a riff, or does one of the other guys bring a riff in, or how are you sort of putting the songs together?
It's mainly me and Peter who comes with the riffing, and we just arrange it all together in the rehearsal room. Mostly. Yep. At times it could be more than just one riff, but and it feels good because everybody are really a part of we are really a team. We are really a league who does this together. It's the way that we do it. So some bands, they send back and forth files, and they add bass, and they add some vocals there, and they never meet. We always meet here in the rehearsal space. We're like super old school, and I always record all my riffs on my phone. Really confident and good to be working in that kind of way. Feels great that everybody are part of it.
Good.
Creative.
So the songs are sort of like created organically as a band.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. And in regards to sort of recording it, because I just showed some of the photos that you sent through, from your recording where you did a million volt scream. When you're recording, so for the last two albums, you used I forgot his name again.
Sludgy.
Yeah. So when you're using him, is he the one that sort of helps you shape that sound? Because again, the sound on the last two albums is phenomenal. Is that a specific sound that you guys try and come up with together or something? Because it really suits the songs.
Yeah, I think he comes up with the production with the sound. He does that, absolutely. We sound more. Our sound is actually more noisy live,
right?
And not maybe so what do you call it, thick, because when you listen to the two last albums, there are not so many like ride or crash sounds that are really like stonerish in a way, and when we play live, we sound more stoner in our style,
right?
Maybe not so
There's another really cool thing that I picked up on the last album. It's you guys use a lot of percussion. Like there's a lot of sort of shakers and stuff happening in the background, which sort of really adds some edge to the sound. How did that come about?
It's part of the percussion thing that Matthias does. He plays all those stuff and adds those to the track. So it's his thing, and it feels and fits the groove really perfectly. Enhances the groove and the songs in a really great way. So we're super happy with that, and we're gonna be continuing using that kind of stuff. It's really in the background that just makes it more groovy and yeah.
But yeah, it has a really good effect to the songs. Like it adds that extra crisp to it.
It does.
And I don't even know how I picked up on it, but I just remember when I was listening to the album on my headphones one day, and I was like, hey, hang on, there's some shakers there, and I picked up on it on the other songs, and it's like it works really well for the songs there.
Thanks. Yes.
So that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
There's just one point I'd like to go back to in regards to the early days. I think you joined a Danish band called M.A.N for a while. Is that right? Yeah. How did that happen?
That happened. Well, the M.A.N guys knew my old band B-thong, and they knew my vocal capacity. And Michael left M.A.N, and M.A.N were working with Gothenburg video producer called Patrick. His name is Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick Revolver
film. Yes. And Patrick is a good friend of mine, so we just hooked up through there, and there I was, and I did maybe 60 or 70 shows with them in the US for 10 weeks. So I was doing a lot of touring with those guys. I did not record any music though. There were maybe some demos at Studio Fredman way back, but I don't have those. So, but anyway, that was a cool thing to do.
Because I think I don't even know whatever happened to them, but I remember when I first saw that you got that gig, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Because I remember Michael, but I always thought that your voice had a lot more sort of power and probably a bit more range to it. So when I then saw that you weren't in the band anymore, I was like, what happened? Because I was really looking forward to hearing your vocals on that music.
Yeah. It couldn't really. I couldn't fit it in my economical schedule.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah.
It did not work out. I had a family and kid, and I had bills to pay, and I just couldn't afford it. So it was that was the biggest part. Absolutely.
But it's such a shame. Like I've spoken to so many people over the last couple of weeks, musicians who talk about how they almost have to fund their passion. How you have to fund what you're doing, because it's so hard. It's so hard to make a living. And I suppose like you guys are in probably the same position at the moment now, with having all your shows canceled due to coronavirus and all that stuff. Like what's the trick? Like why can't we all just get people to come to shows and pay money for art? It just baffles me, because there's so much there's so much talent out there, and like you guys again are a prime example of that. It really shits me. That it's just so difficult for artists to make a living these days.
Yeah, true.
How like do you all have to have jobs on the side, or have you got anything else in regards to?
I have someone here. You want to say hi?
Awesome.
Donkey Man. Sorry. Can you say that again? Sorry, I was just.
Yeah, no worries. I was just to say, like, so is there any other way that you guys can utilize music or can make money in any other ways? Like, obviously, I know you guys have merch you're selling and different bits and pieces, but you all need to have day jobs at the moment.
Day jobs. You say
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Yeah. All of us have day jobs. Absolutely. There is not any possibility that we can do that.
yeah.
We do this for a living. Absolutely not. And I don't know if I don't know how many bands actually can do that. You know, it's really hard because it takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of you know it takes a lot of budget to keep everything rolling. You know.
Mm.
So, but we are struggling and we are trying the best we can to move forward to in a way live our dream in a way because this is our passion. We would not have done it otherwise. So and with all these with all these canceled shows that we got now, it's just like it's really everything is really upside down. It's really
I could imagine. Yeah.
yeah. We don't know really when it's gonna be back to normal again. We're hoping to do some touring in the fall. Maybe here in Sweden, but otherwise we don't know really. It's really like
Well,
yeah.
there's nothing like the good old summer gigs in Europe and just travel around and enjoying the beautiful weather. But I'm sure you guys would be able to rebook some of those shows probably by next summer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And we definitely got to still try and see if we can get you guys down under at some stage as well. But it's just as we discussed previously, it's not going to be much money in it because it's logistics are horrible.
Yes, I know.
So, what sort of ambitions? Like, where are you hoping to be able to take this? Because again, I understand you all have families and you all have commitments and stuff. What's the dream sort of after the next album?
Wow. Well, we are like a never-ending machine. We just go on and we write songs and we record songs and we release songs and we go on tour and it just gives us energy and we are hoping to get on a support tour where we can because we have done a couple of those and it gave us so much back. If you compare like doing shows on our own, because we would like to get on a support tour where we can because somewhere we know that there are we have a lot of people out there who would easily be our fans, but they don't know us. They've never heard of us. We've been around forever, but still they haven't heard of us.
Yeah.
So it's the way it is, and we do videos and we do touring, and we end up interviews in magazines, and they are like premiere of video there and here and there, but it doesn't really and I don't know. It's.
But it seems like you guys have some pretty solid fans, because you're all like you're very active on Facebook and you can see how a lot of fans are engaging and you always reply back and stuff. Yeah. Maybe it would be possible if any of those super fans are listening and see if there's anything that we could do to utilize them to do some of the hard work, because usually if you find some of those fans that are really sort of true diehard fans of the band, they are the best ambassadors. They are because they want you to succeed. If there's any way that we could sort of claw into them and try and get them to be the front runners and pole holders, man, that might be a way to sort of push everything forward a little bit.
Absolutely.
But I understand what you're saying about sort of some support bands as well. Is there any specific bands that you would like to support?
We can go on tour, support to Clutch or to Danko Jones or Corrosion of Conformity. That would be awesome match. We did this tour with a pale horse named Death, which is in a way a different doomy sludge kind of genre, but their fans just loved our thing, and we did a lot of success during those 16 or 17 shows we did in Europe. Yeah, a little bit more than a year ago, and it was great. We were super happy with that. So more of those kind of things, because yeah.
Well, I suppose again, it all comes down to by the time you are allowed to gig again.
Yeah, exactly, and at the right timing and the right connections and the right contacts. Who know that people who can push the button over there and say that, oh, this is a cool band, listen to them. They would be a perfect match with them, and yeah.
But have you got anyone helping you book gigs? Or
we have a booker, Stephen Moss, English dude, who are booking for us. He's our booker. So things are happening now and then, slow and easy, He's trying to get us on these support tours, but sometimes there's no response from the other side, and blah blah blah. So it's
it can be tricky for sure, man.
Yeah, it is.
But I suppose again, it all comes down to again to have that reach, like to come out and get the name out and trying to build that up. Do a lot more of this stuff, come out and do some podcasts and do some interviews and like collaborate, share audiences and stuff is probably really good, especially these times, where you sort of have to sit and connect over the internet anyway, because you can't go out and actually play some shows.
True. But we also have a hard time to get festival shows. We hardly don't play any festivals. We don't get any festivals. We don't play any festivals in Sweden either. We played a big festival a couple of 3-4 years ago up here in just north of Stockholm. But otherwise, we don't get any festivals.
Why is that?
There's I don't know. Maybe we're too old.
Nah, I don't think
we are old. I don't think, but at the same time, we are doing our thing and we're doing it very well.
But I don't think there's
confident sound and.
I don't think there's an age to being a rock star, being a musician. It's because again, it's all about when you put that CD on, or when you press play, man. If that works, there's an audience. And again, like your music is so good. Like you don't deserve to just sit at home. Like you should be out there and play. And play festivals. And big support gigs or big headliner gigs.
Yes. Cool.
But
absolutely.
Look, let's try and have a chat about this a really interesting thing here. We're trying to raise some money for your new album. How does that work? And what do you need to get this new thing off the ground?
I don't know if it's over there. If it's over there, but if the GoFundMe over there,
I've got your thing sort of running down the bottom here now.
Okay, running on the bottom. Okay, we got the GoFundMe page where you can donate some money if you are want to pay with the credit card, and we're trying to raise what is 100,000 Swedish kroners? I don't know how much that is in maybe it's like 10,000 euro, something like that. 10,000 euro.
Yes, that's about right.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So if we get there, we are pretty safe. But if we don't get there, we anyway get somewhere rolling anyway. So and we also have the Swish for the Swedish fans from Sweden. They can pay through they can donate money through the Swish thing. That really helps out.
Yeah, got the number here. So it's I don't know. So is that a Swedish mobile number? So you have to message to that number?
You just open your application Swish and you just write that number in.
Right. Okay. So the number here is
that kind of thing.
Number 12325407222. Bang.
Yeah, exactly.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yes, exactly.
And so all that goes into your recording fund.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like all the money that we ever get on tours or through merch sales always goes into the recording budget. We never put any money into our own pocket. We've never done that. We never done that. It always goes straight into the machine. So we're not getting rich of doing this, not at all.
No, it's a shame.
Maybe, yeah. It's just a passion, and we love this passion, and we love to continue doing this for a while more. So please donate a cent, penny.
Yeah, it's
kroner.
it's a shame, but again, it's such a common trait for musicians, to do it for the love.
Yeah.
And again, you find out that so few actually make it and actually make some money off it. But I've just got your GoFundMe page up here where people can go in. We made this little URL shortener, so you can actually write bit.ly, so bit.ly/TL, so for Transport League, and then 666. If you just write that, it'll take you straight to the GoFundMe page, so you don't need to stuff around there. And then obviously you've got some merch as well that people can buy.
Yeah, yeah. We actually ordered a merch for approximately 2,000 euros right before the tour here, which got canceled. So we got a shitload of merch, which and we also owe money to a record label because we're by contract have to print our merch through them. So we owe them a lot of money, and they are asking for that money now. So
really?
Yes.
Wow. How does that work?
Yeah, that works. I want my money now. It's a common sentence in the group here. Maybe. Yeah.
What the hell? Like how can they ask
but,
for?
They also have costs, and they maybe pay the printer somewhere in Germany, and somebody helped them out. So they also need to have their money. So they will get their money for sure. But we just need a little bit of help to get some sales going, and we got hoodies, we got girlies, we got t-shirts, we got vinyl, CDs, patches, beanies, a lot of stuff. You can just check out our Facebook page, and there is a shop there. Just go there. So that would be appreciated a lot.
Yeah,
to get some sales rolling. Absolutely.
Some lot of good stuff there. I'm still waiting for mine. Yeah. It takes a long time to to ship to Australia. Yeah, both. Yeah. But now I was sort of hoping I could wear some of that today. So I'm stuck here with my AC/DC shirt instead. I actually saw you guys did a cover of was it Let There Be Rock or something?
Yeah, from 1996. A long time ago.
I can't even remember how I stumbled across that, but it was like I found it was like, man, why haven't I seen this before?
Yeah, it's a kind of we did it in our own way, and some people may think that we just destroyed the song, but that wasn't the meaning. We just wanted to put our own spices into it, and make it like we would do it. So. And there was a review in Kerrang when it got released, and Kerrang was so fucking angry about that. And
really,
Transport League, they really destroyed that song. They should be forever and ever listen to it until they die or whatever. What have they done?
Really?
Okay, yeah. It was like that. It was like, okay, I'm sorry.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
No, I quite enjoyed it. It had a bit more edge to it. Like it was a bit more, had a bit more bite.
Yes, absolutely.
It probably would sound like what AC/DC would play if they have to record it, this day and age.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think the sound was. I think the song was recorded, 30 or 40 years ago. So it's it's a pretty old tune. But you also you recently covered Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun as well.
Yeah, that's a totally different story.
Yeah.
Regarding because that wasn't really a song that we wanted to destroy in any kind of way, because that is just memories and a celebration of a great track and a great singer, and it has a little bit more heaviness to it. We are detuning a bit. But otherwise, it's pretty much similar to the original in a way, if you say so.
Yeah,
and we're very happy with the outcome as well, and the video became really cool as well. So
the video is
one-off thing. Well,
the video is it's really good.
Yeah,
quite artistic. It's obviously it's a daunting song to pick up, because, as you said yourself, it's some big vocal skills from Mr. Cornell.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, one of the all-time greatest rock singers, man.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like you covered it sort of very close to the original. It wasn't like it had that sort of Transport League spin to it.
No, we wanted to do it like this. We did it. So we just it was just a one-off thing, Just wanted to try out it was actually a challenge, Let's try that, and let's try to do it as close to the original as possible. Can we make that? Can we make that happen? Can we get that kind of a vibe to it, and the kind of if we get just a percentage of the magic that the original song has, we are like happy with that, So, but it became good. Happy. Yes.
Awesome. There's another question that I like to ask to ask a lot of people I talk to. That is, if you have any advice or any sort of tips or tricks, if there is anyone sitting out there that are sort of stuck, maybe they're in an upcoming band, that they are sort of looking to get some advice from an experienced band like yourself. Is there anything that you've learned in your career? Because you've been playing now for about 3 decades or something. Is there anything that you could sort of say that this is something that I would, if I could go back 20 or 30 years, this is what I would tell my old self or something, if you know what I'm trying to say? Is there any good advice that you can give people?
Well, to be open-minded and to think a little bit out of the box and try out something that if you're stuck with the song and you don't know how to continue with the song, or if you think a little bit out of the box, do something that you are not supposed to do. Used to try something else, and then you can flip it upside down or something like that. And then I think that could be a way out of whatever you are doing. If you're an artist and you're painting, or you're a photographer, or you're a musician, just think of something that is a little bit not so accurate for that style or whatever, that is my advice. That is my advice.
And how did you implement that to your sound? Because obviously your sound is sort of quite unique, especially when you were comparing it to all the other massive bands that we hear from Sweden. Like Gothenburg is like the capital of Swedish heavy metal. But you guys stand out, like in regards to your sound, as you said yourself. How did you come up with that sound? So how did you think outside the box to create the whole Transport League sound?
I think it just comes along. We are like 4 knuckleheads who just make this. We have a couple of band members who are really like keeping the other ones on the leash in a way, and we have 2 other guys. That is me is one of them, who are like really all over the place. Playing riffs, hardly cannot play guitar, but I was thinking like this, but that is not it. What, and we have a couple of other band members who go like, put us on a leash and gets us forward going. And get us straight into the line again. Yeah, that's the way how we work. So we are a great unit, and we to replace. We actually replaced the bass player like was it like 7 years ago, and because the first drummer of Transport League, his name is Lars, and he was actually a bass player of b-thong, and he became the bass player when we did this reunion thing, and he was part of the band for like maybe 5 years after we did this reunion thing, but yeah, but he got replaced by Dennis, and Dennis fitted into the unit really easily, and has a lot of creativity that has made us move forward, and so it's the way it is, and if somebody would drop off from the band, it would be really not so easy to replace that person, because then it would be something different, So yeah, as long as we are healthy and we have the passion and we have the love for the music and hanging out and drinking coffee, doing riffs, speaking about this and that, we're there.
Yeah, awesome, man. And what about kids? So obviously you have kids now. How are they? Are they a part of your music as well? Are they playing any instruments, or how like are they somehow connected to your life in regards to playing?
Not that much, actually. I have 3 kids in different ages, 22, 5 year and 1.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And the other members, 2 of the other members also have kids. But yeah, well, we actually have the kids. The kids were actually singing the last choruses of the song "Kill, Kill Faster" from the Napalm Bats and Suicide Dogs album. They're a children's choir.
Yeah.
That is like our kids doing that. And there was also part of the video singing visually, something here, yeah. And then Matthias' daughter was also, she was like, I think she was 4 back then. She was playing a zombie in the Cannibal Holocaust video, and so yeah, there's been some connections. Absolutely, they've been a part of this. It's been really great.
It's it's so cool that you bring that up, because the whole Kill Faster video, like my oldest son who is, like I said, he's a diehard fan. He saw that video because it came up because we watched Monster Human, and then it came up on YouTube as the next video, and now he really likes that video, and he likes it because the camera goes out and it films these kids that are singing in a closet or something.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
So is that video filmed where you're at now? Because it looks like it's sort of the same surroundings.
Exactly, right here.
Yeah,
right
awesome. Here. And that's your rehearsal space.
Yeah, it's an old house from some beginning of 1910 or something like that. So it's a lot of there's been rock bands rehearsing here like forever. So there's a lot of rock in these walls, and it was actually an old orphan house as well. So and I don't know how the kids were really doing here, because there are people saying that it's haunted, but I don't know. It's not. It's actually not a joke. It's you can hear children laughing and walking on the stairs and stuff like that. So
really?
But I'm alone here. Yeah, it's true. Really.
Wow. So
fucked up. Yeah.
So you got this old house in Sweden that is just set up for rock music, and it's a haunted house. That is epic. That's an epic rock house.
Yeah. And I'm the manager of this house as well. We have like 20 rehearsal spaces in this house, and it's like a 4th floor, and it has a studio up there where we're going to record our new album. And so it's kind of it's a cool place.
20 rehearsals.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That is fantastic.
Yes.
That is so cool. And that's where you work?
Yes.
Or that's what you manage?
Yes.
Far out.
I do.
Yeah. Wow, that must be pretty rewarding to be involved with that.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Fantastic, man. Look, Tony, we've been talking for nearly an hour now, and I promised I would let you go at about 7. It's nearly 1 a.m. here, so
yeah, I understand. You better go to sleep.
1 in the morning. Yeah, but before we head off, I've got Cannibal Holobeast to finish us off. Can you just give me the story behind that video and behind that song? Because that's one of the coolest videos, the coolest songs.
Yeah, it was recorded in a ammo warehouse in the underground, approximately 70 kilometers east from Gothenburg. We found this place, really no electricity, huge, with these catacombs, and we have these torches, and we have these actors who are playing zombies all over us and all around us, and yeah, it's a cool song, and the lyrics are just super white zombie haunted alien fiction thingy, so it's fits the low vocal, fits the lyrics really great.
Sort of like the polar opposite to Monster Human, where we're cleaning up a museum in Animal One Seas. Fantastic. Tony, it's been a pleasure, man. I really enjoyed talking to you, man. Do you just quickly want to give a shout out again to the recording font? I'll just put it back up here.
Yeah.
So we got the recording here. We got your Swish as well.
Yeah, the Swish we got there. We got the GoFundMe page over there. So please do a donation, help us out. Soon we're going to start recording at the end of June, beginning of July. So we really need your help. We got a lot of merch as well. So get in touch to purchase your item. We got like hoodies, t-shirts, girlies, vinyls. Just get in touch through the Facebook or through transportleague@icloud.com. transportleague@icloud.com. So yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic, Tony. I'm gonna put on our lovely Cannibal Holobeast now, and you have a rocking evening ahead. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Tony.
Thanks, Ed. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in or listening along to the show. If you like the show, please don't forget to leave a 5-star review and subscribe to my social channels. It doesn't cost you anything, but it greatly helps me to build my networks and my chances of getting sponsors to keep this show running. If you want to take it to the next level, please head over to patreon.com/Stephen Helhammer and become a patron by joining the exclusive community there. You can start from as little as $3 per month. And for just a little extra, you get access to some fantastic features, outtakes, behind the scenes stuff, and much, much more. That's less than the cost of a cup of coffee per month. And that way you can help me build better content. I can devote more time to find awesome guests and just generally just keep everything flowing. If you want to be on the show or subscribe to my mailing list, send an email to steven@helhammer.com, and that is HELhammer.com. That way I can start sending you exclusive invites, random stuff, and messages that, who knows, you might enjoy. So that's it. Have a rocking day ahead, guys, and I will see you on the live stream or in your headphones very soon. Take it easy.